How would you like to learn the secrets of two Karma Club Award winners on how they have built successful online businesses from almost nowhere to now running multiple 7 and 8-figure businesses by following the simple fundamentals of life? And let's see how they have used the powerful funnel systems, processes, automation, and social media to help their business grow at a different pace. Let's dive into their journey to grasp the strategy, mindset, action plan of how they have done it from almost nowhere to the way up to 7 figures. We are going to uncover and pick their brains of the top performing entrepreneurs on this show. How they have done it and how you can do it too. You are listening to the Nikhil Sai, the host, and welcome to the Nikhil Sai Show. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? First of all, guys, welcome to the Nikhil Sai Show, which is hosted by me, the Nikhil Sai. And guess what's going on today? We are back with another amazing two Karma Club interview. So this is going to be pretty amazing, guys. In case if you're someone who's struggling as an agency or overall struggling in the part of marketing, generating leads, creating an ROI in your business, which can help you to scale fast and leveraging your experience, right? To actually build a successful marketing business, this podcast is something you should really pay attention to. Today we are having a special guest who has done crazy numbers in especially solar marketing field. He has a unique formula and his own methodology to actually, do marketing, generate leads, and actually get ROI, because that's what matters the most in the end of the day, right? So guys, let's not waste any time, and actually let's welcome Cody Maldonado, CEO of a solar marketing formula. Hey
Hey
Cody.
there. Hey there, Nikhil.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very good. I appreciate you having me on here. I'm actually interested in yourself. Whereabouts in the world are you?
Yeah, I'm actually in India.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about the upcoming prospects of business and in India. Um, so to say the least, really. So
Hmm.
yeah, happy to be here, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good 3 a.m. in my time. So yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited.
shoot,
Yeah, I'm
hustler.
definitely excited, Cody. So yeah, Cody, why don't we start with your backstory? Like, how did all of this crazy journey started?
Okay, so I worked for other solar companies when I first got into this. My friend, he said, "Hey, I'm selling solar panels. You might want to try it." So I talked
Mm-hmm.
to the guy who owned the company over the phone, and I'm just realizing you guys are in my garage right now. I'm the plumbing in my house is getting all ripped apart, and so welcome to my garage. My I would have rented a Ferrari to lean against while I did this interview, but it wasn't available on time. So welcome to the garage. But hey, people really work out of anywhere nowadays. So this is where I'm at for the moment. Anyway, so I started working for another company, and he hired me on, and I sold some solar panels, and quickly left that company, went to a couple more, and realized that they're all the same. They all sell the same thing, and my comment before starting my own company, before leaving the last one I ever worked for, was we have to get the attention of people. We have to figure out what makes us different. How are we going to separate ourselves from everybody else in this industry? Because we're all saying the same stuff. So competitive industries that are abundant. We're all fighting with everybody across the globe nowadays. How do we separate ourselves? How do we separate our companies?
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. Just realizing there's a lot of holes in other companies' games.
I think yeah, that's definitely true. Especially these days, like if you are in the requirement of solar, you call someone and he's just like looking to connect who, like he's just like figuring out who he should connect, because almost everybody has the same offer and almost like everybody provides the same thing, right? And I think that brings back to the next question, Cody. Like, you, the way you actually marketed yourself in a very competitive niche is completely by creating a unique offer, right? Like your offer is what kind of separated you in this all this heavy competitive market, right? So I would love to hear your take on like creating irresistible offers. Would love to hear that on how you have done it in the solar as well.
Yeah, it's a great question, Nikhil. So, people want value. They want to get more for their money.
Mm-hmm.
And in solar, everyone's saying the same stuff. Go solar, save money. Marketers will outright lie to the prospective customers saying, go solar now because in this county, there's only a limited amount of government budgets and you can go solar for free. And yeah, that stuff's going to get people to fill out a form. But the problem is when it comes time to sell those people, they realize
Mm-hmm.
that they have been deceived from the very beginning. And no
Yeah.
one likes being lied to.
Hmm.
I don't know anybody who likes being lied to. So creating irresistible offers. Well, what can we do to separate ourselves from the competition? You
Mm-hmm.
know, in any niche, we have to realize that we're not special until we make ourselves special. And we're not special until our potential customers and our audience realizes we're special. So how do we stand out from our competition? Creating an irresistible offer comes down to making people feel good, really, because a lot of the logic is nowhere to be found. I heard a saying a long time ago that a good deal is just a state of mind. How do we create that state of mind in our customer? Well, I mean, I could speak to solar. There's a lot of different ways that we can grab their attention.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it comes down to the salespeople and the rest of the organization that we work for or we work with being willing to work their asses off to create an experience and fulfill these people's expectations from the time they sign their documents to the time the panels are installed. That has to be a very enjoyable experience. It has to be something that they don't feel like they regret after the fact. But the
Yeah.
offer,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nikhil, so I'm going all over the place. To create an irresistible offer, you have to think of what's going to make people stop scrolling. And it has to be something that jumps out at you. That sounds like this is too good to be true. But
Hmm.
it can't be. You have to actually deliver on it after the fact. I'm not going to give you away all exactly what I do because I think it would take a long time.
Yeah.
But and we don't want to make it just specific to what I do, but you have to figure out what's going to add more value to people's lives. People want value.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the more value you actually deliver, the more irresistible the offer is. Just need to give that transformation which they're looking for. And I believe when there is a transformation, everything else becomes irrelevant. Appreciate that, Cody. So let's get to the next question. And I think having the right offer help you to scale fast, right? So we would love to hear the journey of like how you have done over $1 million in 19 months. Especially you selling the solar yourself. So how did that story go so overall?
Well, I'm lucky to have surrounded myself with a good team of people. I have good relationships with people. And in order for me to make over $1 million in 19 months, it was really not just me being the smartest person in the room. It was me really listening a lot to people who have already done well for themselves and them giving me some ideas and me kind of building out these ideas into something that's, a company. I had people working for me to help me accomplish this particular goal of
Mm-hmm.
$1 million in 19 months. Had a sales team that was working for me, helping me sell. And it took a lot of work, quite honestly. Managing salespeople is something that I actually don't enjoy. But I figured that once I had the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club award, it would be a good way to show people, if you can imagine me holding this thing up and looking for the camera. Here's what I got that other people don't have. Everyone's going to tell you how great they are. Here's something that I got that a lot of people in our, as advertisers, we want to have. And it's something that people who know what it is, they respect it. And I didn't post it on my personal pages, and a lot of people don't even know what I do, quite honestly. But
Yeah.
people who, you know what I mean? It's, well, Cody, what do you do? Well, I think a lot. I take long walks and think. And then I sit in front of a computer for a long time and make those thoughts a reality, Um,
Mm.
but yeah, $1 million selling to homeowners. So to go back a step, you asked me how I started in this industry. Well, after I worked for other companies, I started my company knocking doors. And from those experiences of knocking doors and, sitting and I did the math one time, I've sat with over 2,000 people in their houses and selling them at their kitchen table or attempting to sell them solar at their home. And that knowledge cannot be bought in a course. You
Yeah,
can't read it in a book.
for sure.
You know what I mean? You're
It's
going,
real raw
that's,
data.
yes, that is sweat equity So I just take that knowledge and I built it into my marketing campaign. And all of these little things add up to big things, and a big thing like getting this 2 Comma Club award. But I will tell you guys, not to make it sound like I'm not grateful for what I've accomplished or whatever, but you realize after making $1 million that it's not that much money. And so, you realize that you want $1 million in your bank account, not just, running through your PayPal account.
Yeah, true. What's left
Yeah,
is what matters the most in the end. Yeah.
that's right, man. That's right.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely, brother. So I think you definitely added great value there. We would love to hear your take on, especially as a company who sells solars or generally any other company, right, who are having a little bit more moving parts. The issue is, as we have discussed, profitability, right? Okay, great. We have done X amount of revenue, but guess what? You're left with like 15% margins, 10% margins, sometimes even worse, right? In different businesses, of course, right? So we would love to hear, like, how did you manage to maintain profitability while scaling using advertising? Because I believe advertising is one of the main sources on how you were actually generating leads.
yeah. So that's a great question. And what I do, Nikhil, you have to make sure that the people actually selling what it is that you're offering are excellent
Mm-hmm.
at what they do. Because in e-commerce, it's all about the offer and then the funnel, and then you can see them check out and buy in real time. So from front to back, you control that whole thing. Whereas when the sale is made offline, you have to make sure that your team that's actually executing the sales component is very clear on what is being advertised, how it's being advertised, how to sell it, namely how to
Mm-hmm.
close, how to ask
Mm-hmm.
for the money multiple times. I see even some very seasoned salespeople, they don't realize that all the money is made in the closing. The rest of the story means absolutely nothing if you can't ask for the sale multiple times, okay, in different ways where it sounds like you're not closing them. So that's the first thing I want to add. The other, so that's part of how to actually transact sales. But as far as scaling online and
Mm-hmm.
being able to, and I think that's more of what your question was directed at. People don't know, and I say this because I'm almost, I know that they don't know how to test and control a certain test of what they're doing on regarding advertising, make a change to their controlled variable, and then test that new control against the previous control, and so they can move forward confidently, knowing, not thinking, knowing that this new ad and the creative, and so the headline, the primary text, the creative, that is the very best that's the very best ad that they have to date. So then they can scale using that ad. Whereas I think that what most people are doing right now is they're
Guesswork.
basically, I'm sorry, guesswork. Yeah.
Guesswork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're essentially what I have referred to it, what I've heard to it referred as is day trading on Facebook's platform, or day trading on the Google Ads platform. They're trying to hack the
Wow.
machine.
Mm.
They feel like they're smart enough to break the machine on Facebook or Google. It's like, come on, Those things are so really, that's what you're doing.
Robust, yeah.
It's impossible. So we have to start thinking about how to teach these machines to do what they want us, what we want them to do. And you have to play that machine's game. You're not going to beat their
Yeah,
game. You play with it. And I
I
think that's
agree.
how you maintain profitability while scaling.
Yeah, true, Cody. I think that's a beautiful answer right there. Like, understanding that you need to collide with the algorithm you're working on, especially on the advertising. And it's not a day trading that you change your creative immediately at 2 p.m. and you shift that with a different variation at 4 p.m. and make profit instantly. Doesn't work that way. I think it's really about learning that, tweak of art, right? Like, art of tweak, and definitely scale it up from there. That is so beautiful. So let's get to the next question, brother. I think this would be much interesting to actually answer. Like how to actually have a base level of marketing ecosystem to actually fill more clients as a solar company, as a marketing company, as a company in general who manages high level clients.
Yeah. So the ecosystem is highly important, and this is something I had to wrap my head around a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
October 2020, I woke up. I can't remember what day, but I woke up to find my Facebook ad account had been shut down. Like I think a lot of people did around that time. I had literally nothing to fall back on. All I had was Facebook. I had just started playing with Google and YouTube. Um, so to answer your question, yes, you absolutely need to have multiple irons in the fire, so to speak. Um, I've even heard that not an ad campaign is not complete unless you have the three pillars, which is going to be Facebook, Google, and YouTube, and email. Without those three, those are the big three, so to speak. Now, is Twitter and TikTok and other, yeah, that's all important. But those big three are very important. Now, to speak a little more to this ecosystem, I think personally in what I do, again, this is going to be a lead generation type of business like I'm in. But,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we're looking for at what the ad platform tells us to know if a campaign is successful or not. You know, down to what campaign is working better, what ad set, what ad, if we're talking about Facebook or even Google. But I think the whole ecosystem is far more important than we give it credit for. Because let me give you a little story. So, for Solar Marketing Formula, I started running ads about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard crickets, Nikhil, for like 3-4 months.
Oh my god.
I was almost banging my head against this wall in front of me, trying to figure out why people weren't scheduling calls with me. I didn't get it. I have this award. I've been in this industry for like 7 years. I didn't understand what it was. And I tell you, all of a sudden, one day, my calendar started just getting filled up. And Nikhil, this is very important. I want people to hear this, because especially you guys going business to business, just realize that when you're saying something different to your audience that they have never heard before, a different angle, it takes time for them to understand what it is that they're actually engaging with. They don't get it at first. They have to see it multiple times in different ways. And I can tell you this with,
Mm.
and I'm sure of this because I would actually talk to people on the phone and I would ask them, what got your attention when you saw whatever you saw me doing online? What got your attention? And some people would say, you know what? I've watched all of your videos that you've put out for the last 3-4 months. I'm telling you, a guy told me just like that. And
Oh
I
my
can
god.
tell, yeah. And he goes, and I can tell that you're honest, you're truthful, there's something different about what you're doing. And so it took time for that to happen. The ecosystem of having YouTube ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, and then being on multiple platforms and telling your story in multiple different ways and having these people interact with it and digest what it is that you're doing, something that's different, was imperative for Solar Marketing Formula. Um, so I would encourage you to understand that yes, having one particular ad is one controlled ad. Talking about scaling again is very important. You want to have that one winner. It's your bread and butter.
Yeah.
You put most of your budget behind that one, right?
Yeah.
However, you're going to have other pieces that support your main ad. So don't just disregard those ones because in your Facebook dashboard they don't look as good. If you have a gut feeling that you think, you know what, the numbers don't tell me exactly that this is the best one, but I feel like it's supporting the main piece of the puzzle, trust your gut and keep that
Let
other
it
supporting
run.
cast. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a key as well. I think that definitely creates more strength to the actual ad, and decrease the ad cost overall by creating that trust sense of retargeting for your customers as well, for sure. So yeah, Corey, that was definitely an interesting story. Appreciate you actually going into detail. So we would love to hear, recently we have been seeing you like scaling up the solar marketing formula. So we would love to learn more about like how are you scaling up fast as a marketing agency. How was the transition from a complete solar guy now teaching other people and doing it for them on the solar marketing? So how are you taking it forward from now?
Yeah, Nikhil, if there's one thing I want to add to the last question, if I may.
Yep.
I love music, and I am very eclectic. So I like all different genres. I like classical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like almost everything, right?
Hmm.
But I'll admit that sometimes I'll hear a certain song and I won't like it till after I hear it 5 or 6 times. And it's because I believe that my ear and my mind is adjusting to the frequency in that song. And then I really like it. I think that some of our advertising, we have to understand that that's happening in our potential customers' mind as well. Sometimes they need to
Mm.
be warmed up, especially again when it's something that's different. You got to give them time. They're like, "What the hell is this?" When Steve Jobs, we all love Steve Jobs stuff, right? When you came out the iPhone, and people were like, "What the hell is that?" You couldn't wrap your head
Yeah.
around it, you know. So anyway, scaling up fast as an agency. I think that to kind of add to what I was saying a moment ago, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for people to warm up to it, and then once they have, I have a lot of appointments scheduled. Especially last week was nuts, and they're all telling me basically I could tell that they appreciate that I'm just telling them straightforward how things are, how I see it. People are far less interested in what you're saying than what you're not saying. And if they can feel like you're leaving something out because it's beneficial to you, people are very good at picking up on stuff like that. So I got news for you guys. All you bullshitters out there, people are starting to figure it out better than ever before. People are tired of being lied to. This is the zeitgeist of our times. People are
Yeah.
tired of it. And this is a good thing because guys who are doing the right thing and guys and men and women who do the right thing and stand for something, they're going to do better now than ever before. Tell that story online in your own words. And once people figure out that you are being truthful, I believe that good things will happen for you. You will scale fast. Take care of people. I like very basic stuff, Nikhil. I mean, do the right thing, um, set the proper expectation up from the beginning and deliver on it. My current ad is structured as my current offer rather is structured as if you buy 1 week of solar marketing from me, I'll give you 3 weeks for free. Okay.
Mm.
So you give me $1,000. That's what I charge weekly right now. And I'll give you 3 more weeks for free. Why would I do that? Because I want to prove to you that I know what I'm doing. And if you like it after a month, then you keep it and the price goes up. So the only way I make any real money is if you stick around. So what's going to make you stick around? By telling you what's
Results.
going to happen. Thank you. Results. And really outlining what it is they're going to expect and what they're going to receive by being a client and giving
Mm-hmm.
that to them. Honestly, Nikhil, I think it's really simple. I think we try to overcomplicate everything.
I agree.
You know, that's my belief. Deliver on what your promises are, and good things will happen.
Yeah, for sure, Cody. I definitely can sense it, especially as a marketing agency, right? Everything boils down to like what you can really deliver, when it comes to the client result side, because that's what's going to compound at a very high speed than anything else. Anything else doesn't matter. Your marketing doesn't matter. Your sales doesn't matter. Your clientele doesn't matter. Your results is what matters the most, right? Even if you're helping like the smaller companies, but you're helping them at a very larger scale, absolutely can compound for you and definitely help you enter big markets. So yeah, I love that, Cody. Appreciate you mentioning that. And yeah, we would love to hear like your tech staff. Like, how does your management projects, clients, how does that look like? Do you use any tools to manage all of this, Cody?
As far as the tools I use, the software I use to produce campaigns and keep them operational, I use the same stuff I'm sure everyone else does. Zapier,
Mm-hmm.
Woofu, I have Drip, ClickFunnels, right? Obviously. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes down to managing my clients' um, leads and their scheduled appointments with homeowners, I actually prefer very simple stuff. I use two things. And it's funny because we have to know our audience. Typically, if a solar sales rep or a solar contractor is hiring me to do online advertising for them, it's
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to deal with technology. And they know what they're good at. It's talking about home renovation, solar, that sort of thing. So they basically want to offload this entire problem to myself. So here's what I'm getting at, Nikhil. When they get started with my service, I give them a Gmail login. They log into a Gmail account and they have a spreadsheet and they have a calendar. If it's a good lead, it goes to the spreadsheet. Of those good leads, they go on their calendar. That's it. It's knowing my audience,
Wow.
knowing who you're serving. It's imperative.
That's amazing. So you're running a business on spreadsheets and Gmail accounts. That's beautiful. So yeah, guys who are actually complicating because you don't have tech, now you have Cody for a reason. Okay, so no excuses.
Well,
So
here's the thing, Nikhil, is I've had people that worked with me uh, and they wanted to bring all this software and all this. It was just, it was more problematic than it was more problems than benefits. And I told them from the very, I didn't even let it clutter our lives. I said, look, that's great, but it's not important. You need to pick up the phone and start calling people and sell something. Because
yeah,
in my industry, that's what's important. We try
true.
we try to procrastinate too much. Get to
Yeah,
work.
you don't sell much, right? As it should
No.
be. Absolutely, brother. So that's the end. Period.
Yeah,
Mic
that's
drop
that's it,
moment.
man. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, let's get to the next question, brother. I would
Sure.
love to hear more about like your daily routines. How does that look like?
You know, I like this question a lot, Nikhil, and I'm a firm believer in exercise and diet and meditation, journaling, yoga, hiking. I mean, all of these things. I exercise 2-3 times a day,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it's just a balance for my mind to be able to sit down for hours at a time and work in front of a computer. I need to get
Mm,
up and I mean, when I'm done with this, Nikhil, I'm going to go for a walk and go get some sunshine, take my shirt off, walk around, get the vitamin D, just breathe and think and to get right back in front of this computer and get back to work. You know, if you're not taking care of your mind and your body, and they're both the same thing, fellas and guys and gals, keep saying addressing people like they're all men, and I'm sure they're not. But either way, man or woman, whoever, whatever you are, you need to take care of your mind and your body because if you're not, you cannot do your most effective work.
yeah.
It's just so Western culture for a long time. We didn't focus on doing things like meditating. And just now, I think in the last 5 years or so, we're really picking up on it. And It's changed my life. So my daily routine, specifically, I'll tell you exactly what it is, okay? I wake up in the morning and I go outside. I walk my dog for 10 or 15 minutes. And the reason why is I want to see the sun come up. And I want to be able to gather my thoughts, and by moving around and getting my body moving, the blood starts circulating to my mind and gets my thoughts going, wakes me up. Seeing the sun activates us. You know, it does something to our minds where seeing the sun, it kind of gets us, makes us wake up. I used to drink caffeine right as soon as I woke up, but I no longer do that. I try. Some days I don't, but you know, an hour to 2 hours of no caffeine out the gate. Because I heard it reduces, you need to I don't know, I'm not going to go into the science because I'll screw it up, but it's a good thing. And I can tell you, I can feel the difference because once I do ingest caffeine, it hits better and I feel more centered. I come back inside after walking and I journal. Anything that's on my mind, I'll write it out. Doesn't matter. It could be personal, it could be business, it could be both. After that, I'll meditate. After that, I'll read a little bit of either Stoicism books, or I most recently started reading Robert Greene's the Robert Greene Daily Laws. It's a fantastic book. I've read every one of his books aside from Seduction and the 50 Cent one. I haven't done that one yet. But something that kind of sets your life on the right track from the very beginning in the mornings, I think is important. And then I'll work out. And then after all that stuff, after working out, I'll take a cold shower. I know, kind of cliche. You hear about cold showers and all stuff, but I do it and it does work too. And then I work. So it's like a 2-3 hour routine before I even sit down. Wow. I want to say this, Nikhil, if I can. This is very important. I'm a type A type person. I like to work hard just because I enjoy working. But as entrepreneurs, and I'm sure I'm talking to mainly entrepreneurs here, you're not paid to work. You are paid to come up with great ideas and execute on those great ideas. And you can't force those sometimes. I can't tell you how much of my life I've wasted sitting in front of a computer doing a bunch of work that was complete garbage, that did not need to be done. So what I'm saying is, if you go for the hike, you could take a whole day off and go walk around, go to a lake or do whatever you want. Don't think about work. Don't think about it and come back and watch the difference sometimes. You know,
sure.
We're stuck in a culture, or we were for a long time. I think people are getting smarter, but it's all about hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle and don't sleep and team no sleep and all this nonsense. That's not it. Take time. Take time. It'll be there when you get back. All your work, it's not going anywhere. It'll still be there.
Yeah, you definitely need that like detachment from your business, especially when you're like continuously burning out back to back. The brain juice, right? Like the kind of strategic thought processes you actually follow along, the good decisions you take, the probability will be decreasing as you continuously be on the same mode, beast mode over and over, because you can't be an attacker 24/7, right? You need that rest, to just be an attacker and beast. Yeah, that was beautiful, Cody. Appreciate you. Now, let's get to the next question. What will be a suggestion to a 20-year-old yourself or someone who's just getting started in business?
Yeah, if you want to be in business, you have to not beat around the bush. Just realize that all businesses are comprised of sales. No sales, no customers, no business. I sold copiers door to door. It was the first ever real sales, I want to say hardcore sales job that I ever had. So I would go to business parks, walk into the front door, get business cards, try to figure out who made the decisions on buying the copier, go back to my office, make cold calls, try to get an appointment, go down there and sell them. It was hard, but I realized that if I could do that, and I did, I could do anything, because it was It was the hardest. I can't really think of anything much harder, quite honestly.
Hardest sale ever. Yeah.
It's just hard. There's nothing attractive about them, nothing. So, if you want to become an entrepreneur and you want to be really good, get used to failing a lot as a salesperson to start. If I was 20 years old, I would say, you want to be an entrepreneur and really make sure that they have an affirmative yes. Okay, go sell something that's hard to sell, like a copier or any outside sales. Just go right for the hardest thing you can do right out the gate, because you're young, you can handle it. Go out there and do that first and figure that out. Once you figure that out, then you can, other connections will form in your mind where you realize that if I can do this, I could do this, and I could do this. So yeah, go get good at sales, because you're going to have to be persuasive, not just for your customers, but as you become a better leader, people are going to look to you for guidance, and you're going to have to be able to persuade them many times. So persuasion is key for any business.
Yeah, true. I agree. That's definitely a valuable answer for sure, Corey. Appreciate you getting into details on that part. So we would love to hear more about your life's biggest achievements so far and any next bigger goals.
Yeah, that's a great question, Nikhil. And I think I like to think very, very, very broadly sometimes. So I'll give you I'll give you an answer that may not be expected, which I think my life's biggest achievement, quite honestly, is my family. You can have all the money in the world, but that won't buy you a loving family. And I have one. I have a family that loves me a lot, and I work hard on having that and maintaining the relationships in my family. Now, as far as my next biggest goal, I do want to scale Solar Marketing Formula, but I'm not in much of a hurry to do so, meaning that the most important thing to me is that every single one of my customers, my clients, I should say, is taken care of, and they feel like they have an exceptional service when they hire my agency. It's kind of funny because most of my clients I don't even talk to, and that's a good thing in my business.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm going to see a client tomorrow, and we're going to have lunch, but I haven't talked to him for probably 2 months, and I just was going to be in his area, so I figured I'd go see him. Business owners are very busy, and they don't want you to be another one of their problems. They want you to do your job and go away, quite honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So my goal is to persuade other business owners to hire me, and then have them forget about me just as fast because I'm doing my job. There you go.
Period. Yeah, that was a great answer for sure. So interesting. So let's get to the next question, brother. So what was the biggest mistake, in your life, especially in terms of business so far?
Yeah. Well, yeah. In terms of business, let's talk about business, because I don't even know if I could. I've made many mistakes in my life. As far as in business, I think I could continue with this same mistake, which is not knowing what it is that you're after,
Mm-hmm.
and then going in the wrong direction. You have to really decide what it is that you want first before you can go after the goal. I think that too often we just think, well, I need to make money. What do I do? And yeah, in certain stages of your life, you have to answer that question first. But after you get a little bit of, success, I guess, figure out what it is that you want your life to look like every day, and then work your way backwards and figure out how to achieve that. At least that's what I've done. I figured that I want to work from home. I want to take vacations and be able to work from a boat or from an island or wherever.
Yeah.
How do I do that? And that was what started me on this journey 10 plus years ago. It got me interested in advertising. So what do I want my day to look like? Who are the type of people I want to work with? And work your way backwards to figure out how to make that a reality. That would be my my advice And the biggest mistakes in my life I've made is not knowing what the actual goal is and then working my ass off to not even know what I want. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
True. Yeah, absolutely, brother. I appreciate you mentioning that. So, I mean, as an entrepreneurs, right? Like we get sometimes, tough times, and we need like right inspiration to move forward, right? Like keep being steady and emotionally balanced to, keep moving forward. So, we would love to know more about like your main inspiration for the success and any key people involved in the journey.
Yeah, certainly. So I'll go in chronological order. I'm lucky because I have two entrepreneurial examples in my family. My dad was an entrepreneur. My stepdad is an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so that really helped. And from there, the guy I sold copiers for, named Roland Martinez, he was a very good businessman and good sales trainer. But someone that is a little more famous, but still not extremely famous, who passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago, way too early, is Frank Rambaskis.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank wrote a book called Never Cold Call Again. And for all the youngsters watching who are kind of like doing, a lot of the footwork, we call them meat markets, where you have I'm sorry, but when you have a sales organization that relies heavily on people to go to door to door selling stuff, that's what we call a meat market. Okay. And if you're stuck in that role and you want to figure out how to get out of that role, learn about marketing. So I bought Frank Rambaskis' book. I actually, ended up speaking with him on the phone a few times. Very good man, and rest in peace, my friend. But he was also very influential. Larry Wingett, I don't know if you know that name, but he's a guy. He's on different news shows a lot. He's involved in some politics stuff nowadays. He's very good. He has some really good books that are very straightforward. It's no fluff. It's just right to the point. I like that style. I think Naval Ravikant is very, very smart. And I read the Naval or the Almanac of Naval, and it was genius. Tim Ferriss, Andy Frisella, you get those names there. If you study any of their stuff, you'll be just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. That was definitely interesting. Thank you so much for mentioning such good names and as a referrals for our clients and people who are actually listening to this podcast. So, brother, I mean, you are, absolutely killing it with marketing when it comes to solar. So, where can our audience find you mentoring or start working with you in general?
Yeah. If you go to my Facebook page, I think you have the link there, Nikhil, but it's
Yep,
Cody
I'll drop it in the.
Maldonado. Yeah, yes, please. Because my last name's kind of hard to spell. People call me McDonald all the time. I don't know why, but Cody Maldonado solar marketing formula. You can find me there. I do believe in paying it forward, and I am here to help. If there's any entrepreneurs watching this and you were intrigued by anything I said, just know that this is the same me that my family gets. If you see me at the grocery store, I'll talk to you the same way. This is just who I am. If I can help you somehow, let me know. Send me a message on there. I don't know, maybe Nikhil, maybe I can give you my email address too. If
Yeah,
you
for
think that's a
sure.
good idea, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah,
be
for sure, for
getting
sure.
blown up.
Yep. If you can let me know your email, I'll actually attach both of them in the description. So, guys, whoever is checking out this podcast, so make sure to check out the description of this podcast, where you will find Cody's personal Facebook as well as his email to actually write to, so you can connect with him. And I'm pretty sure you'll have absolute amazing time working with him. So, yeah, that was definitely spot on, brother. Any last word before we conclude the entire podcast session for today?
No, I think I don't know how long we've been talking for 43 minutes now. No, I think that's about it. If you want something, go work hard for it. There is no shortcuts. No shortcuts. Go after it. Go work for it, and you will attain what is it that you're looking to accomplish.
Yep, absolutely beautiful message, brother. So once again, Cody, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It was definitely insane having you on. The amazing stories you shared, the experience you had in the solar, and how you have been utilizing it to scale up your marketing agency, and the way you're carry forwarding it to other businesses. We are definitely looking forward to see you big and see you grow, and excited. So guys, you know what to do if you need more help. So make sure to check out Cody's profile link in the description and email him and connect with him on Facebook. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next interview. This is me, the Nikhil Sai, and Cody signing off for today. Peace. Thanks for joining me,
See you
Cody. Bye
guys.
bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.